Welcome back to another fantabulous edition of the MAP Technologies podcast. We're big and blacker than ever with this version of the MAP podcast. It's Black History Month, everybody, and in honor of JB's phenomenal heritage, we dedicate every podcast this month to something Black history oriented. And if by some chance it's your first time joining us, I am one of your hosticles, hostees, whatever you want to call me, King Gardamus, and the guy with the scruffy beard to my right.
It's your boy.
He knew what I was talking about.
It's a Charm City champ.
I was like, wait a second.
Hold
That's
on
all of
now. And of course, as always, the biggest, baddest, blackest mofo in this side of Mississippi. Take a while to get through it. The one and only. Hi.
Hey guys, it's JB.
Yeah. And look who's back. Look who's back. Look who's back.
What's going on?
Good, sir.
I'm cool, man. Just cool here.
Kaiga.
Feels so good, you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, Mr. 3C, what's the happens this go around? Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm buzzing.
that was my phone. My bad.
That was his flashlight.
So, yeah, man, like you said, this whole month of February, our topic is going to be Black History Month specific. And
Okay.
today, we are talking about the misrepresentations of Black people in games. You know, last week we focused on like the Black heroes of 2020, and now we want to talk about the issues in
the Mr. Popos of the gaming world.
and I want to clarify, like, this is not necessarily to complain about what's happening, but basically what we feel like you can't fix a problem if you don't address the problem.
Right. Just
Right.
to let you know, we see it. And we may not. We see.
So let's start.
This is the do better stream.
Yes, do.
Eat
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. If you knew better, you do better. So we are letting you guys know.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about the not so distant past and talk about slim diversity of Black characters in like maybe the 90s and the 2000s of video games. And I put a couple of examples in the chat, but we can start with, how about a big Resident Evil 5? Did we play that? Do we know
I
what-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yes.
Was it bad?
It was so. For those that don't know, Resident Evil 5 took place in Africa,
Right.
and it followed, obviously chronologically. It followed Resident Evil 4, what's arguably one of the best Resident Evils of all time. So Capcom decided to kind of use the same engine as Resident Evil 4, just change the setting and make it co-op. But the problem is there was a certain type of zombie in Resident Evil 5, like
You guys do have. I'm trying to remember, and I'm trying to remember. I don't. Maybe it's just I'm just so.
I remember it vividly
Yes.
because we were just playing this last week. Like
he didn't come out like tap dancing, did he?
I mean, no, I mean,
like they were all like your classic like Somali pirate type,
mhm.
tribal, non-speaking. They were like just
It's very
it's very Capcom-y, to be perfectly honest.
So
Like we're in Africa, like they Googled African terrorists and was like, okay.
That's it. We're going with that.
So, and I mean this in the least offensive way possible. So, if you played Resident Evil 5 before, the way it worked, it was like it was walking area, combat area, walking area, combat area. The combat area will always start with like a very zoomed in camera shot of the first zombie you see. Kind of like how Resident Evil 4 was, where like the first zombie who sees you, he points at you and like curses at you in the zombie language.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why Capcom did this because they could have just kept the zombie language, but they chose to use like what they thought was like African dialect.
Oh, jeez.
So it would zoom in on this like, it would zoom in on this super like tribal looking black dude, and he point at you and go, "Oh, boo, 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 da, boo." Oh my god!
It doesn't help either. Like the main instigator one in the very first area of the game has those damn sunglasses on that you always see in the movies. Like, oh, I'm the leader, so I got the sunglasses.
The Idi Amin sun blockers.
Like, and I think there was a big controversy about it.
Absolutely.
When it first came out, like they were like,
yeah.
I do remember. Yeah, I do remember the controversy, but the controversy was just people just shooting black people in a game. So that was the controversy I remember hearing.
Swarms of black genocide. It's probably
just mow them all down. All right, good game. Can't wait to see the
DLC. Which sucks. It's like I like Resident Evil 5.
I love it. I mean, I didn't pay as much attention to it, I think, as everybody else did. I just played the game.
Like it was a fun game. Well, as long as you're playing with somebody. But y'all just, like I said, y'all just could have did better with it.
Yeah. Like, ask one black person. Like, that's all you need. I know they're hard to find in Japan, but
I'm about to say you're not allowed to work there, then how are you gonna
I can confirm I did not see one while I was there.
Where is your never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
You said you did not, correct?
I did not.
And there's actually I watched the YouTube there was like a thing where it's like a couple black people like, yeah, what it's like to live in Japan being black. It's not as fun. It's not as Akibara arcadey as we would like to pretend to be according to them. So yeah.
Before we get into like more specific games, do we just want to talk about like some of the overall problems?
Yeah,
there have been.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Like, stereotyping.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
So it's like, there might be black people in a game, but it's like just a like gross stereotype.
Yeah.
Or like it's like stuff like that. Because that was you don't even have to mention specific games to like talk about that going on.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because it sucks because when we talk about stereotypes in games, I feel bad because I always want to bring up a lot of the game characters that I grew up liking because I didn't think this was an issue. I didn't really like my high school, middle school mind did not even grasp the bigger theme of like international racism.
Right. Until you look back now, you're like, oh, well, maybe him run down the street with that chicken and watermelon isn't. Watermelon to power up. Oh, yes, sir.
Like the favorite one we like to bring up is Augustus Coltrane.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's not an old one.
It's not. Which is it's like
that's like 2007.
Jesus Christ.
It's like when they put Coltrane together, they just was like they watched ESPN
absolutely
in the early, like 90s for like an hour and just like took like Deion Sanders and Shannon Sharp highlights and just smashed them together. he's like every black athlete ever. And I'm like you said earlier, like when I was younger, I was just like, I love this character.
Right.
Like and he gets you hyped, but then like, at the same time,
You're like, hold on now.
There's no depth.
Mhm.
There's no depth behind it.
Mhm. And that kind of leads back to the problem with diversity in the games is that this wouldn't be a problem because there are black people in the world that act like Coltrane. Nobody is saying that that doesn't exist. But when there's no, it's not even. Coltrane is like the only black person on that planet for like for like 4 games.
Yeah. And then I mean, you brought up Eddie Gordo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
like
like, was
dancing
he
black
the
guy character.
the first black character in Tekken?
I think so. That I remember. Let me double check
Yeah.
that.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
you couldn't just have like a vanilla like standard fighting style or anything like that. Like, no, he had to be the dude with the dreads
Mhm.
from Brazil that's doing capoeira and like,
Yeah, rolling all on the floor.
we were
Get your
talking
ass up.
you like the character, you think he's cool, but you have to acknowledge like that they did that.
Mhm.
Like now to think about it, like almost every black character in at least like the newest Tekken is like the dread character. Like, oh, I have dreads. Like
Mhm.
they
Yep.
just stuck them on them, and like even like the woman Master
Raven?
Raven.
Yeah.
The Raven before that, when it was a guy, was just Wesley Snipes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and then you look at Street Fighter, and they had what, two black characters,
Balrog and
right? And
DJ?
Balrog is like very obviously just Mike Tyson.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't, they're not like doing anything too crazy with that. They just like stole an actual person's likeness and was like, okay, they're in the game.
So
But
much
then you look at the other character, DJ, and
Mhm.
it's like, man, they didn't pull any punches with that one.
No, black people are just boxers and Jamaicans. That's all we
And-
only thing that would make that worse is if those maracas were like the chicken wings from that that KFC commercial where the guys dance with the.
I'm sure that's a mod somewhere.
I'm sure. And I think it was Street Fighter 3. Don't forget the black girl that did capoeira in that one. So
Yeah,
Oh, Elena, yeah.
yeah.
Elena, that's her name. Yep. So yeah, we're not venturing out of this box, are we, Capcom?
And yeah, I want to say
One
I
idea.
don't, I don't know. Dudley's a little different.
finally Dudley premiered in what? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no credit. I'm not giving you that.
I tried to help you, Capcom. So.
So, I mean, with old games, especially the ones coming out of Japan, it's like, yeah, you saw a lot of that because, I mean, I don't want to like give them too many excuses, but it's like they don't have a whole lot to draw from.
Mhm.
Especially some of those games, it's just like a few dudes in a hotel room, like putting a game together. Like
Mhm.
they don't have like a huge research team or anything like that figuring this stuff out. But like, I know someone was saying that if you playing in like Red Dead Redemption, like the new one,
Mhm.
if like you play as a black character, it's like you have a totally different storyline or something like that.
Oh, really?
Different things
Oh.
happen to you. I don't know. I like now I need to look it up because
Yeah.
No,
I was
like,
hoping one of you would be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I do
No,
not.
because like like this. No, because I played Red Dead Online, and like my Red Dead Online character is actually a black woman,
Mm.
and
I do.
I just don't. But this was like early. There wasn't as many expansions as they have
Playing
now.
Red Dead Online as a black character means enduring racist garbage, slave catchers,
Ooh.
KKK inspired clans, and racial targeting.
So both.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, yeah, like that does. So me and 4 friends were playing Red Dead when it first came out, and literally like like people will ride up on us and like normally like I'm thinking like it's like GTA Online, like of course people are going to attack you, but like
Mhm.
I'm talking about like the whole room once or twice were after us, and we're just like, huh, like I mean, we got him back. Like, this one dude kept killing me, man. I hog-tied him and like was dragging him through the whole but like, like I don't know, this is like a whole nother topic, I think, when it comes to like Red Dead. Like I think the story in Red Dead is kind of close to the times. So like it's not, I mean, like it's kind of bad, but like it's historical too. But like,
And I think that's where they get away with it.
Yeah, I think like when we start talking about the actual community and what's going on, like that's kind of like a whole different topic that we could probably sit here and talk about all day. That's a social thing, and
Yeah, and I mean, so that's an example. Like, yeah, a lot of the stuff in it is like pretty messed up, but that's an example of like actually having that character creation and having it actually like be unique, as opposed to like what we were talking about like last week, where like in like the WoW character creations, where it's like, yeah, they just took a white person and made the skin darker.
yeah.
I don't know.
Or you could do like South Park and just purposely make the game hard because you're picking a black character.
I was going to bring that up. Now, I don't know if that actually affected the game. I just think that was like a little joke in the character creator.
It was there, just a little joke. Yeah.
But I like that because it kind of like it turns the stereotype like on its head.
Right. And that I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are very aware of what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing.
You know what you're doing, don't you, buddy? you know.
Hey, like, you want to throw some subliminals in this one?
Oh, for me? Oh yeah.
So let's talk about, I think we said enough about the what is happening, but let's dig into the why it happened, and why some could argue it's still kind of happening today. That why aren't we seeing like a lot of different black representation in video games? Why when we get black people in games are always like the rapper or the Jamaican or the things that you see on TV?
Multiple things. Some maybe just be people just don't care. To maybe not enough representation up high enough to say something. Some people think that maybe that's not what some people want to see in their game.
Like I think it's not enough of us working in the studios. Like,
well, I think up high enough. I mean, we may be working in the studios, but are we working up high enough to be like, hey, why don't you put, Daquan in the game instead of somebody else? And someone's going to say, all right, well, that's valid because this person is on my, equal to me, and I can listen to him.
But like, yeah, like how many people that we have that's that high up? Like, I don't know.
Right, that's the point.
So like, hopefully some future developers watching this and just like, you know what, I'm gonna be that first big black studio or big black producer that makes something special. Cause like, I mean, like, yeah, there needs to be more of us up there.
Yeah, it's all in JB's hands, so it's up to him.
Handle that, JB.
Yes,
inspire people.
As the representative. No, I do think a lot of developers now are in kind of a weird spot where if they make a black character and then they don't have aspects of it to like identify with the greater black community, then people will call them out for not doing that.
So it's probably just easy enough.
It's like, oh, you just made a black character just to make a black character, but nothing about them makes me go, oh, great. There's like in Miles Morales, they have all the little things all over the place to make people realize that like this is the community and this is his background and all of that. So some people will want that, and some people will be like, "Oh, you're pandering now." Like I don't know. I feel like it's a weird spot for if you're putting a game together now.
No win situation.
It's still easy to just not be overtly racist.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, your one black character doesn't have to have dreads and be a rapper.
And the extra dark with the pink lips. That's one.
Yeah,
there was a Pokemon that was like that. And they had to switch it to purple.
Jinx.
Like a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Japan is just.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
You brought up a good aspect as far as consumer feedback. Like we started in the direction of the issue of there not being a lot of excuse me, black people in the development teams, but that is an excellent point that a lot of developers and a lot of publishers are concerned about the accusations that consumers are going to give them as far as like reverse racism and now you're pandering and stuff like that. And
can we just acknowledge how stupid a term
reverse racism? Absolutely. It's dog shit. You never heard of reverse racism?
No, I heard of it.
Oh, yes.
Like, wouldn't reverse racism just be not racist?
They would just cancel each other out.
I just work here. I stopped trying to figure shit out a long time ago.
Somebody was reaching and came up with a term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is no such thing. It's not a thing.
But like the thing is like it's not like we're asking. Like black people don't want to be portrayed as something that they may not be. Like obviously, like not all black people are perfect because not all people are perfect, right? But we want the opportunity to be portrayed as normal. Like I think of Lee from Walking Dead as like one of the perfect representations of black people because he's just like an everyman.
Absolutely. Even though when we meet him, he's on his way to jail.
They fixed that. They cleaned it up.
But yeah, still, like like he was like one of the really great black characters that we got.
Somebody trying to
like I don't know what, you know, one of the great black video game characters, Michael Leroy, he's a voodoo guy in New Orleans. Like really?
So you know what we one of the games that like I think we were going to talk about was GTA, right?
Yep.
We'll talk about GTA for a little bit, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like I feel kind of weird about that game because I actually think like it's exaggerated, but it's not bad. Like showing off like black life. I mean, like San Andreas is 90s, but like with 5, it's like a little bit better. And like I was looking up the writers for San Andreas, and like one of the writers was DJ Pooh.
Oh, who is one of the writers of like the Fridays franchise? Yeah.
So like you kind of can see like that written in there to a degree, like because it was 3 writers. What is Dan Hauser, James Worrell, and DJ Pooh, and I probably butchered their names, but but like yeah, and like I like some people would do find that offensive, but I just remember certain scenes that were written really well. And like I'd be like, yeah, like I definitely understand it. Like there was I think there was one scene like close to the beginning of San Andreas where Big Sweet, CJ's older brother, was just like, oh, you wanna know where the gang's at? You like this person's in this grave, that person's in that grave. And like I literally remember seeing like a family member like come back from like out of town one time, and like another like one of my cousins like just going off on him, pretty much saying the same thing. And I'm just like
like when art becomes life.
It gets a lot of. I feel like GTA gets like a lot of stuff right compared to like other games, and maybe Rockstar is doing that research. I don't know, but like, how do y'all feel about that? Because
I've never played hardly any Grand Theft Auto, so I know nothing, John.
Yeah, me neither.
No, yeah, I I definitely hear what you're saying. Like Rockstar is definitely the opposite of, I would say, what Capcom is. They take their time. If they're doing something, like, they definitely research endlessly. And the issue, what were you about to say, Mike?
I did play Saints Row 2 though.
Oh,
No, I played up
Jesus Christ.
I played up to and Saints Row has a lot of stereotypes, and it is great. I love it.
Well, Saints Row.
Funny thing,
Well, that's the thing. Like, so does South Park.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what
I
I
was gonna say, like Saints. If like we were gonna like kind of do like a one-on-one thing, like if like GTA is like Boys in the Hood, like Saints Row is like don't be a menace while drinking your juice.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
yeah,
it's supposed to kind of be like way over the top.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it. Like there's a part where you what was it? The guy's in a donkey uniform riding a horse and carriage from the strip club. I mean, that's awesome. Uh-oh. That's Rockstar calling you. What you say about me? You gonna eat your cornbread?
Yeah, no, definitely about the Saints Row thing. I think that on purpose is supposed to be an exaggerated parody of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. So,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to differentiate themselves, and they did a good job with it. They went too far with the whole, not even just stereotypes, the whole game just started to make a big turn left. I was like,
yeah, like that was their whole thing. Is like, all right,
they're killing me now.
what's over the top?
I've just seen screenshots from that game, and it was all ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, those first couple were like slightly ridiculous. Those last few were just like aliens. You're in hell fighting the devil with super. Oh my, come on! I just want to rob a bank. What happened to that?
With their like purple dildo or whatever.
Got a goofy song stuck in my head.
Can I have my grape juice or my grape stuff and just rob a bank? I don't want to fight Satan. God damn it!
Like
it's Diablo.
So, and with the bringing up of Saints Row, I think that brings up a good point, because I kind of want to do a good job of addressing the potential counter arguments in advance, because a lot of people are going to be like, these characters are supposed to be caricatures of real people. Like, it's not just black people who get turned into caricatures of characters, but the issue,
everybody is, in those type of games, everybody's over the top.
Yeah,
right. It's not about the one representative being a caricature. Like that's one of the problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they want
the entire game, when the entire thing is meant to be a joke, it's a little bit different. Like Blazing Saddles or something, you know.
So
yeah, so
no one-liner sports dancing dreadlock characters.
Well, I don't play it enough to even delve into it.
So where do we go from here? Should Capcom, like, not saying that they are or that they would even entertain it, but do they get rid of the DJs, or do they?
I mean, he hasn't been in a game in forever.
Oh, you're right.
But
bad example.
But yeah, it's like if you have a character like that, it just can't be your only one. I think that's a big problem. But I think in general they'll probably start moving away from that.
Just spend a little money to do some research, like actual research. You have your fighting game department doesn't, but like the rest of Capcom, you have the money. You have the money to do the research. So it's not that hard to do the research. It's not that hard to say, hey, we're going to bring such and such in to take a look at this character and say, hey, like, is this going to offend everybody?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that hard to try to. Well, it's not that hard to do work. That's all I'm saying. It's not that hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like Capcom does, and I hate to keep bringing Capcom up because they're not the only ones. They might just be the worst culprits.
No, just keep bringing them up.
But they
They need to
do.
know.
They do research for everything else. Like, if you haven't had a chance to play Resident Evil Village's demo, that Victorian mansion that you go through, like, it looks insane. Like how
They flew out somewhere to go
exactly
look that up, right?
Yes. Yeah, they actually went to like a Eastern European country and like did research on how to. So the money is there and the teams exist. So the same effort that you put into looking up how to make a freaking Transylvanian castle, you can look up how like black people are in Africa. Without we don't, I'm pretty sure the bone and nose thing is not a thing anymore.
Until we go there and it's actually true, and we're like, "Fuck."
I will eat my words.
God damn it!
Touche.
Capcom was right.
Damn it, like, we weren't supposed to say that. We're supposed to say that.
God damn it, Capcom! Right on the nail. Son of a bitch.
And like, yeah, like I mean, like, and we're not saying like, hey, like, let's fly out to like the middle of like a Crenshaw or something and just hang on a corner for a bit and take it. Like, nah, like you don't gotta do all that. But like, I mean, like, just bring somebody in,
Right?
Have one of the Capcom employees become a Crip, join the gang, come back all tattooed up.
People like that was amazing, bro. Like, changed my life.
Yeah, people get brought on as consultants all the time in like Hollywood when they're making movies. They always bring people on to make sure that whatever they are doing is authentic, and I think video games need to do the same. Like Rockstar, which is probably the perfect example of that.
Actually, what fighting game does a good job of not stereotyping their black characters is Mortal Kombat.
That is true.
Like, it's just like it might be a little bit there, but it's not nearly as bad as other games.
Yeah, it's not overbearing.
No.
Even in the first couple, like Jax is just a regular guy. Honestly.
Yeah, solid.
I'm an army guy, got metal arms.
Yeah.
I'm not overly one-linering it.
Yeah. He's not super talking jive. Hey there, Shao Kahn. Jive Circus think you gonna take over the earth. You got another Jack. All right.
Before, you know what? So Jax had that terrible game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we remember any of the dialogue from it?
Wait, Jax had a...
Yeah, Jax had a standalone game.
Oh, damn.
Hold on.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm
like 80% sure I'm not tripping. Like, Jax had his own game that was like a side-scrolling beat 'em up or something.
I think you're correct, but I just never played any of those other like Mortal Kombat mythologies and all that other stuff. I never played any of them, so
I need to play this game.
Does it exist? I can't find it.
Was that you and me? Oh, we talking about that last week?
Why can't
mythology Sub-Zero?
I know about Sub-Zero. I didn't know there was a...
Yeah, there's a Jax game.
I had no idea there was a Jax game.
I think it was PlayStation it came out for. I can see the cover in my head.
Let me see.
And I know it was terrible. Like it was a bad game.
Mortal Kombat Special Forces?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
3D action adventure game developed and released by Midway for PlayStation in 2000.
Look at that beast.
What was it called again? Special Forces.
Special Forces.
Oh, you know what? I do remember these pictures. I've never played it before.
Evidently, we didn't miss anything according to Carl. So maybe we just need to keep that.
And Jax is on the cover too.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only playable character.
Oh, I could have swore it was like Jax and Sonya. It's just Jax. Yeah, it's just Jax. The only playable character is Jax.
Good old Jaxie Plaxy.
So don't go play that game.
Yeah.
And Jack's legacy will stay intact. Hopefully. I'm gonna look that up when we're done. We gotta see
That's
if
funny.
We gotta play it.
Absolutely.
You guys hate life.
We gotta do the MAP Let's Play.
You gotta do your
Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
due diligence on bad games.
Mortal Kombat. Stop making
Mortal
Stop making
Yeah,
single
just-
player games. Just get.
Shaolin Monks was good.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, that was co-op though. It was a single player. It was meant to be co-op anyway.
Wait, Special Forces is a single player. Oh man, I didn't even realize that. It's a single player beat 'em up game.
That just sounds. Who wants to do that by themselves?
What? Beat off by themselves.
That. Well, I mean, you're supposed to. Do you not? Do you not do that by yourself?
I hope Mike is down there. When we see the videos, I saw us looking in the right direction, like, oh man.
And I think that's a good place to end it.
Just like that.
Oh,
Hi.
Midway calling now. You talking bad about us? You jive turkey. All right, so what are we? I'm assuming we're just hoping to see better. Whoa! Somebody
Just
has a
take it off the
hotline.
table.
I use it to read. I've got it.
You people can do that. Read.
Depends on the game.
Okay.
A
Fair
tab.
enough. Fair
Tablet.
enough. So I'm assuming going forward in the future, we just wanted to see nice representations of not only Black people but everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
we only talked about one group of people, but the
Yeah.
stereotypes and everything
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
It's except for white people. Sorry, except for white men.
There we go. That's
Because I mean,
Yeah.
how many female characters? I mean, we don't even. You could do a whole episode on that.
I mean, the whole
Right.
Dead or Alive franchise is just a bunch of white women stereotypes.
Yeah, just bouncing their boobs around.
Finishing moves are a kiss of death.
booty bump.
the washing of dishes, the cooking of the food. This game's DLC is a little misogynistic here. There.
It's just overcooked.
Right.
Just overcooked.
We're looking at you cooking, mama. You're next. We're coming to get you.
Yeah. Why my mama got cooked? I'm waiting for the Chitlin DLC to come out with Aunt Jemima on the cover. Speaking of that, they literally changed the name to Aunt Jemima. No, was it the what's the syrup? Is it Aunt Jemima syrup?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the name anymore. They changed it.
Yeah, they said they were going
Yeah.
to.
Wow. It's been Aunt Jemima all this time. Don't switch it now.
They're coming for you, Uncle Ben.
No, don't you change, Uncle Ben.
Count Chocula, we're coming for you.
They already did Uncle Ben, didn't they?
I don't know.
He's
He was
definitely.
right after Angel Mama, right?
They said both of them.
The SNL skit. I don't remember.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, some things are just it's Aunt Jemima. It's been Aunt Jemima for the last 70 years. Just keep it and just let's not mess up anymore going forward. That's just me. I'm probably gonna get cussed at for that.
You probably will, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, you know, it's just the Redskins. It's just been their name for
Right.
that long.
Yeah, why change it? Let's just.
Don't worry, Mike. They're just gonna throw bottles of King syrup at you.
That's fine. I'm gonna lather it all on my body. I'm gonna just lather it all on my body. On my body.
So if you think Gotham just undid all the progress we did in the past hour,
Yeah.
go ahead and drop it in the comment section.
So Gaudamus just took us back to 1950. I'm going to sit in the back, and you guys have a good day. Yes. So going forward, let's everybody just be cool, be themselves. We all aren't cold trains and all that other stuff. It's cool to do it every now and then as long as everybody's doing it, but don't pick one person out. That's not nice.
Yeah, man.
And make some good games so we can play. And sponsor us.
And make Mr. Popo DLC on Dragon Ball Fighters.
Please, and keep him the exact.
Get purple. Make him purple.
Not near saying that I want his black ass right in there, and I want him OP.
Leaning back so hard right
Hey,
now.
man. Popo backwards is OP.
I want Mr. Popo. I want Chi-Chi. And I forgot the third person who I wanted.
Chi-Chi.
You already got it. You said Master Roshi.
Yeah, Master Roshi's in there.
Is he really? It's been a while since
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I got to refire up the systems and get all the latest seasons and all the games in here.
We're getting like super off track. Can we?
We are.
Hinokaga, is there?
Statements, all right.
Mike, get us out of here.
All right. All right. No more stereotypes. No more racism. Everybody, let's just hold hands and let's just hate everybody for just who they are. We don't have to hate them because of their race. There are people that are just like legitimately assholes, and we could just hate them for that. Let's just do that. As always, thank you, awesome Hino. Give your rundown information because you do a little bit of streaming, good sir.
Twitch.tv/Hinokaga, YouTube.com/Hinokaga, and you can follow me on Twitter on Hino the N7, and I'll tell you whatever anime you're watching is not as good as whatever I'm watching currently.
Fair enough. So we'll say that.
Wait, you only ever watch good ones?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it.
As always, you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other? Twitter, at MAP Game Tech. If you're watching this and you haven't, like, follow, and subscribe. YouTube, MAP Technologies. Shout out to Charm City Champ. Designed the label for our collaboration beer, 8-Bit Hazy Days, which should be out in a couple of days. So GG's for that. A lot of people said that they like it. So thank you, Mr. 3C.
But drink responsibly.
Man, but drink
YouTube.
responsibly.
We gotta do that for YouTube. Do not.
Yeah. Don't drive backwards and do stereotypes of people drinking the beer. And all the way over there, we got Mr. Dark Horse. You still doing your 64 rundown?
Yeah, still doing it. Just go to
right.
n64.tv. See it all there.
Yep. And if you're in the city, 322 West Baltimore Street, shop's coming along a lot better. So we should actually be giving a grand opening date soon. And yeah, hit us if you need something. And thank you for tuning in. You jive turkeys.